tutorials. Today's video is a full introduction of the Paint Skin Weight inside Maya 2018. To find this tool, you can find it in the Rig, Skin, Paint Skin Weight. The other way is select your geometry, right click on the mouse and find the Paint Skin Weight tool. Reset the tool so we have the same setting. The first thing is the alphabetically, which is showing the joint name by ABC and so on. The second one is the parent and child, so you can see the parent and child and the flat weight. We have this option, which is going to show the list of the influence by click on it, and we have this one which is going to the default setting only for this, and we have this one. When you click on it, it will show all the joints that are inside the list. Now we're resetting it. Next we have the search. We can now type the name of the joint we want to paint, joint 3, and press enter, and we're going to get this. Or we can make it empty, it will show everything. The next feature we have, if you want to work with a special joint, let's see joint 3, joint holding control of course, and joint 4 and 5 here, and joint 9, I can just press the pine, so I get only these joints in the list, and by press it again, we get all the joint again. The other feature we have is selection. How we can select the thing inside it. Of course, you can select the first one and holding shifts like this, so it will select all between this. Next we have control. We holding control and click the joint we want to. And next is in the viewport. We can actually go ahead and select the influence or the joint from the viewport. Now we have also some options, and we have an option which is lock and unlock. It is very important option when we using the skin tool. Sometime when we going to paint something, let's say we have painting this, we want to protect this. To do this, we're going to just press this to be lock. And now if I even go to the next joint, or if it is up and down, not matter, go ahead to the painting tool to painting the same area. I go back, I can see, okay, the area has been not affected. If I look into this, I can see the area I have painting was not be painting because it has been logged. So to paint this area again, to give it to this, you need to unlock it once again, and then you can painting it. And when you look into this, you can see they have missing the information. So every time you want to keep something protect, just log it when you are happy with the result. The other thing about the selection is these two. So if I have by shift selecting all these and I want only have the joint 12, I can press this one, so I will get only this. And anytime you want to make your selection invert, you can press this one, so it will make it invert. Okay. Next we have the copy vertex and paste it, and we have the white hammer and the other. To use the copy function, you need to first go ahead and select a joint you want. In this case, I think I go to select this one for you. So now it is important these things. You need first go to the select. If you are not in the vertex, right click and press select and click one of the joint you want to copy information from. Let's see, this joint have about 800 or something like this, or about 75 maybe, and we want to get this information from there and go ahead and put this to the other vertex that are there. The important thing, you cannot get the same influence. Let's see, it is 10, 20, 30 and so on. It is not like this. It is only this. If it is 25, all of these selected vertex will be 25. So to do this, first we're going to select mode, select the vertex we want and press copy. Then we need to select the vertex we want to move, or not moving, but have copying this influence we want to paste it to. So we're going to of course we need to first select the joint, and then we can just, I will just show you the paint mode so you can see it, paste this in. So as you can see now, these information, all of them has been or the vertex information has been coming to the other vertex. So we have the hammer tool, which is make it sometime easier to fix some things. As example, if I move this arm always down and look to this, you can see we have kind of information about the, it need to be fixed, these things. To do this, we can use the hammer to do this. So we're going to go back to the skin paint, go to the select. Now I can select the joint we want, but the easiest is to do this. I'm going also to it, use the paint select. We need first go to painting tools once again, go ahead to the add or remove, and now we can select it. So as you can see, the vertex has been selected. It is look like I'm painting, but actually I'm going to select these. When we have selecting it, I need to know which one I want to affect. It is this. I can just use the hammer. As you can see, in real time, we get fixed very fast. Of course, I need to select other side of it. So that is the hammer feature it will do. We rotate it back to the default and then go back to the paint skin tool. So we have another thing, which is we can now, let's see, we're selecting this. Okay, now I want to get this information of this from this joint and putting it maybe to this joint. So how we can do this? The first things is we need to select it. To make a selection, I can of course go ahead and use this, and I can go to the select mode, and I don't want to select the joint, and now I can just select the vertex I want and holding Ctrl Shift. To undo, you're going to holding the Control. Okay, so let's see this area. That is important. You just starting first to select the vertex first. You want to move it, or yeah, you move it from there to the other. When you have selecting it, you need to go to the painting tools once again, select the joint, the R, which is this one, and the joint I want to put it, I think, so let's see, it was this joint. So you need to follow this. First, select the vertex do you want to get the information from or moving it. Then select the joint which have the information. Hold Control and select the second joint we want to move it to and click on it. So what happened? We have moving the information to joint 5. If I look to the joint 8 or 9, you can see we have none information anymore. The second thing is I will show you if you have selected vertex. Let's see the same vertex. Okay, I go back to the painting tool, and I think this vertex, which joint has affected this area or this vertex, I can now press this, and it will show me or select the joint we have affected this area. So now we're going to the paint select and paint select. The paint is the painting tool we're going to do. The select is going to like you selecting vertex, and the paint select is like we using like a brush, the painting brush, to select the vertex. And when we have selecting some of the vertex, if we're going to the back to the painting and try to paint, they are only this area has been selected is going to paint. If I go to this, it will not, but in the vertex it can be painted. So that was, and of course you have in the paint selected, there are an option to add, remove. Next we have the select geometry you're working with. And now we have brush profile. So that is the fall off of the brush or a smoothness, and that is I think this one is the best brush to use. You can use it especially for the low polygons, and the other can be used for the high polygons. We go back to, now we're going to review the things about the painting. So we're going to the paint, we have replace, we have add and smooth. That is these three things you need to know, but the important of them is replace. So whenever I want to paint, I'm going first to the paint, I will choose the replace, choose your brush profile, and now you can just paint it. There are some of the opacity. If I have it like little bit, it's going to add by anytime I go, and it's going to add and add onto more. Holding control, it will make the opposite effect, and holding shift is going to smooth this area. So that is just hotkey about the brushes, but in any time you can choose which kind of opacity do you want. But if you want to replace every of these to, let's say, 0.5, so the best way is put this to the 100 or 1 and make this 0.5, and now you have only 0.5 on your brush. Some other time we want to have a minimum and maximum value. I will say the minimum value, let's see, 0.25, and the maximum is 0.75. And of course there are color information, we came to it, but I will just show you this very quickly. Before we use it, it is important you have it in the 100%. Now we have the maximum is 75 and the minimum is 25. That is important in speed to the 1. So as you can see, that is the orange color, and when I holding control, it is being green, which is 25%. So that is just basic understanding what it does. So now I think we just go to the default setting about it. The other thing we have, there are two types of the skinning, and the new type, it will, let me select the joint. Of course we need to turn this on again. If I rotate this joint, sometime with the twisting we're getting some of these effect. If I select the mesh, go to the channel box, go to the skin cluster, we have the classic and we have this one. And we have the blend. So classic is just the classic. This one is only this one, and we can also blend two together. To do the blending, we need to go back to the tools, the painting weight tool, select the area we wanted. Okay, and now we have the blending tool here, which I can now, instead it be adding in the all of it. The other was like all of them getting this, but I don't want to have it in all the places. I want to affect only this area which I have problem with the twisting. Okay, and of course you can give it a couple of smoothness to make it more smoothness. Okay, so that is this option it gives you. The Maya Classic we have, the new one we have, and we can blend between these. Go now back to the default. Of course, if you have other brushes, you can also import this inside it. The last thing I will just show you is the float, or not the last things, but the float things is if I want, let's see, this joint, I want to give all the information to this. I can just press the float, let's see, replace it to 1. Everything has been to 1. I just undo this. And same thing with a smooth, so I can just go ahead and smooth, and so on. The other thing is also I can go ahead to the select tool, select this area. Let's see, we want to select this. Okay, and now I want to only the selected area be affected by the float. So I can say, okay, now go back to the painting, go ahead to the replace, and only this selected area. And at the same time, it is only the select area I'm going to affect. Okay. The next thing is, which I have using, by default we getting black-white maps information, but if you using the multicolor, it will give better view. But you have also the other option too, different color. That is the brush size. You can make your brush size bigger by holding B, and by holding B and left mouse click and drag it to the left and right to make it bigger and smaller. The last things I will show you is sometime when we're going to painting effects. Now I have turning it on, which is this, the color information. Sometimes we're going to color, okay, but sometimes I don't want to see the color information. I want to see the really text or kind of this. So I say color feedback off, so I can paint without seeing the color, but I can see the influence of it. Of course, I have not moving it. As soon as I just get the feedback from the color, so I can see, okay, now it has been painting. Sometimes it can be helpful when you opening jaw of the character and you want to use this to painting it. So basically it is just a very quick review of all the features that are inside Paint Skin Weight tool inside Maya 2018. We have also another way to painting, which is with the replacing tool. I'm going to open the calculator. As you know, Maya, which is 1, it's mean 100. And if you want, let's see, type 0.25 about, actually it is 25% we mean here. There we go. We have 0 to 100%, and sometimes depend how much twisting do you want. If you want to have more twist or like corner or what kind of effect it is, by default we saying 0.25, 0.50 and 0.75 and 0 or is 1.00, so on. That is the default things. Sometimes when we have like these not so much place or loops, we sometimes using about 100 in the end, which is 1.00. Then we're using 0.5, and if we want, we're using 0.25. 10 or 15. Now we're going to make it less. If it is more or less, we don't use this one. The function you can also use, let's here say I want to divide it. I have 100 divided by, let's see, we have 2, or maybe let's see 3 we have, which give about 33 by 3, which give 33.3. So how I can know it? I can just plus this one with the same 33.3 and so on. Now I just make it, let's see, it is 33. Okay, so the last one is 33 and 66 and 99. Of course, with the prices, with the exactly number, we're getting like 100. So to make it cleaner, I have already created the paint effect. So we just select this one to be 100, or which is 1, and then we want where it is twist is there, so maybe we can just type 0.75. We can of course also use the select tool to just selecting it, double click, select the first, holding shift double click on the second, it will be select the loop, 75, float it, and then we want to use about 50. So to do this, I just now, I don't know if it is a loop to do this. Yes, it is a loop. And now we're going to the painting, so saying 0.5 and float it, and that will be good to this. So just a very quick way to show you what you will get. Of course, you're getting the smoothness later on your mesh, so it will be looking better.